Alright, y'all, it's too wet to get in the woods today. Uh, Brought one home yesterday evening. Well, I was gonna, get unloaded yesterday evening. I went in the wood yard, and I don't know if they had some kind of problem or what, but they were lined all the way around the whole mill. There's about 20 trucks in front of me, and it averages about 15 minutes per truck to get unloaded when they want to go on with it. I sat there yesterday in line for about 30 minutes, and one truck moved up. I said, enough of that. I come on over there and went up there and dropped it at my drop spot and got it this morning. So I just got that one off, headed back to the woods, get another one we got loaded up. But it's so wet right now, it won't quit raining for nothing. But I got a message yesterday from Forrester that we hadn't hauled any up there yet, but it's about 100 miles away at Covington up there. We're gonna try to take a little wood up there every now and then. They quit buying last night at 8 o'clock, and about 30 minutes later, I got a message at the regular mill we've been hauling to. I just went to this morning. They're quit buying today at 12 until Monday morning. I think they got some kind of problems going on with their mill and whatever. So got that one, going back, get another one we got loaded, and it's supposed to rain all day today, rain tomorrow, so it'll probably be Friday. It's still going to be wet, but it'll probably be Friday when we get over here and try to get them loaded back up for Monday, maybe get a load of logs out or something like that. But it's not a good time to be in the logging business, that's for sure. Uh, it ain't just us. Everybody's catching it right now with the weather, and I mean, it's just crazy. It rains at least 2 or 3 times a week, every week right now for the last month. But all that saying, I'm a third generation logger. My grandpa on my mama's side, you know, was a logger. Him and his brother started this business, and my dad worked for them. And then later on, my dad ended up, buying out and taking over the whole thing. And so now I'm a third generation out here. It's all I've ever known. It's something I grew up in. It's in the blood. If it won't, I've been to quit a long time ago and got a better job because they're easy to find. Out here in the woods, a lot of times it's a lot of hours, but the hours ain't so bad as the conditions. We work outside. Trees grow outside. That means when it's 20 degrees outside and the wind's blowing, you're outside. When it's 100 degrees outside, you're outside. Now, we do have air conditioning and heat in our equipment, and 90% of the time, everything we do is in the equipment. Usually we're in pine. Right now we're in hardwood, so we got a lot more on the groundwork. But still, if something breaks down or getting everything going or just being out there, you're still in the conditions. Rain and snow and stuff like that, you're in the conditions. And, your job depends on the conditions. Like today, I'm hauling, but we can't get in the woods because it's so darn wet. And it's not a guaranteed job. It's not guaranteed work like a whole lot of businesses that you can get in. Now, some of the bigger logging companies, they have better things to work with. Bulldozers to push when it's wet, and skidders with chains on them and all this kind of stuff. But even sometimes they can't work. But a lot of them will still be able to pay you, for the day you missed and everything. But unfortunately, our business is too small for that. We've been scratch claw digging everything for the whole month. We've worked a whole lot that it was honestly too wet, but just need to pay bills, so you got to do it. Uh, the other week we stayed over there for till after lunch before we got the first load out of that mud hole. And, I was out there limbing up in the rain. I got soaking wet and everything like that. And that's probably half the reason I got, scratchy throat and mucus and stuff now. But it's a rough life. It ain't as bad as it used to be back when everything was power saws and cables. Fortunately, I won't around in them times. It's a little better now, but still a rough life, especially being a small crew. When something breaks down, we have to fix it. You know, I'm not just a tree cutter operator or a truck driver or whatever. Run the tree cutter is my primary job. Then I bought this truck here. This is mine, so this is my secondary. That when I get cut ahead with the cutter, I help haul. And when we were doing pine, the mill we was hauling to was open all night, so I'd work all day in the woods and load up my trailers and stack them and then haul them at night when I got a chance. And when he's cutting hardwood going up to another mill, I was hauling a load, pretty much every day at one time for a buddy of mine, making extra money and all. Really miss it now. That extra couple loads a week really made a big difference. But I do that. Uh, I'm a mechanic, as long as it's something I know how to fix or I can figure out. I'm a welder when I need to be. I can weld. I ain't the greatest by no means, but I'm a pretty good shade tree welder for as far as that goes. Changing tires, we had a small shop that a guy run and used to change the skidder tires and stuff. And I mean, still does and everything. But we had a skidder tire blow a couple months ago, and we had one at home on a blowed up machine. Of course, it was a Cat, and this is a John Deere, so the wheels won't fit. You had to take it off the wheel. And this guy had his brother and stuff that used to work with him, and he's in bad health now, so he can't do much. So he said, it'd be next week sometime before I can do it by myself, or, if y'all want to come up tomorrow and help me do it, then we can go on and change it. So we went up there and helped them do that. I think my dad and them's changed a couple skidder tires before, but that was the first one that, I've personally changed, and I was just helping, but, we got that done, and he said, man, you're a lot of help. I told him I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll do whatever. But he said, the number one thing is you listen. I said, yeah. I said, you've been, you're the one that's used to doing this stuff and know what you're doing. I ain't never changed one, so whatever you say, that's what I'm gonna do. If it's something that I truly know about, then I know how to do it, or I'm gonna do it my way, or whatever, like that. But if it's something I ain't got no clue of what I'm doing, and somebody else has got years of experience and that's what they do, then I'm gonna listen to them. And I believe that'll take you a long ways in the world. Is just common sense, and having common sense enough to know that you don't know everything about everything. But getting back to everything, when the guy's out or ain't there or whatever on the weekend or something, if I need to drive a skidder, I do that. That's what I started doing when I went to work. I went to the woods when I was 17. I was homeschooled, so I doubled up my last 2 years, so I go on and go to work and running this skidder and everything. And then after the skidder, I moved to the cutter when the guy that run that quit. And I ain't never run a loader much, but I can do it. I've loaded some loads and cut some logs out and everything like that. I mean, I can do it, and it wouldn't take me very long to get, real used to it and be pretty good at it. But you know, ain't nothing in the woods that I can't do. And I don't mean to be bragging and all that kind of stuff, but that's just how it is. I learned how to thin pine pretty good, or at least they tell me it's pretty good. We get a lot of thinning work in the summertime when you can get in them woods, and uh, making these videos and stuff has really helped too because a lot of the landowners will watch them, when we're cutting there and see what's going on and see how we do things and everything, and it's gotten us some work out of it, and it's not a lot of loggers that have a video catalog of you know what they do or their work style, because logging is like everything else. Everybody else has a different philosophy about it, different ways they do things, different things they focus on. Some of these bigger crews, they only focus on production and whatever it takes to get, 100 loads a week. Uh, some focus on the quality of being able to, cut each individual thing out to get the most money out of it, to do this or do that, and different things like that. I guess we're somewhere in the middle. We're not a huge producer. We usually get, you know, hardwood slows us down, but we usually get 3, 4, maybe 5 loads a day in it. Pine, we can usually stay around, you know, 4, 5, 6, maybe even 7 on a good day, stuff like that, and still be able to maintain, you know, a good level of quality. There's no way to be 100% quality without doing it, really slow, really carefully, maybe 1, 2 loads a day of, you know, inching around and looking at each individual thing and everything like that. But I think we do a pretty good job being somewhat in the middle there, kind of doing the best for everybody around, getting enough production to make some money and getting some wood out, but still doing good quality to, look out for the landowner and to try to take care of the land and stuff. And, again, with it being wet like this, we really hate to work when it's wet like this, and we try to avoid it as much as possible. But when it just rains for a month at a time, you got to do something. I mean, we can't sit home that long. But we try to do as many things as we can to help protect the land and do as less damage as possible. There's different ways, even when the skidder ruts a bit, that you can fix it with the skidder, before having to bring a dozer in and everything. But I made a video the other day on smoothing out a couple of ruts we had in the woods and all. But I ain't the best at cutting down with a chainsaw or anything like that, but I can do it. I was taught how to do it, and generally in our part of the world, we just don't have to do it a lot. The cutters will handle most of the trees that we've got left, because there's not very many of them super huge oaks laying around that used to have back in the day. And like I say, generally we stay toward cutting pine anyway. But I can do that. I'm fairly young. I just turned 30 this year. A lot of people in the logging game is older folk that are, not going to be here forever. They retire and whatever. And a lot of them don't have anybody, and the kids don't have kids or don't have kids that care about logging. So when they quit, that'll be a hole in the logging, company and logging industry, whatever. And, maybe as I get older, that'll work to my benefit. It'll be less competition. Because right now there's so many loggers, and the competition is so tight that nobody's making the money we could make because these wood yards and sawmills are staying full. When they've got, if another load doesn't come in for a month, they can still run the mill. They're not going to pay you what they're going to pay you if they only have a couple loads out there that they can run till tomorrow before running out. They pay pretty good when they get down scraping the ground. But there's just so many people logging and putting out a lot of loads that uh, that's not going to happen anytime soon. But like I say, it's ups and downs, love and hate, and all these kind of things. But it's what I grew up in, All Avenue, and I'm a logger.